I don't know any scenario that could be writing a second page to it. It's it. His election, in and of itself, is a catharsis. It's spell-breaking in terms of people being able to say to any child in America, whether it's your child, whether you teach that child, whether it's in a community, you can be anything you want to be. It doesn't matter whether you're rich or whether your parents have money or whether you're selected or whether you're Asian or African. It doesn't matter. You're an American. And what we say by words is now matched by deeds at the highest possible level. And excuses can't be tolerated. Well, I can't do this, or we can't do this. No. That's for Bolton. That's gone. It's out of the discussion.
My son, he's 11 years old, and I took him with me to the precinct. And as I was standing there in line waiting to vote, I was sitting here thinking, I said, man, here's a historic moment. And I want him to be able to understand exactly what this means. Most 11-year-olds are like, Dad, come on, man. You know, he seemed a little more interested once he saw it was electronic. You know, it was a touch screen. So as he saw the selections, he said, go ahead, put your finger on the one on the top on the left, Dad. I said, let me do this, you know. We was going back and forth tripping. As I touched the screen and I realized he was still standing there, you know, you go to the next screen where it helps you verify that this is what you want. And I said, you know what? This is a historic moment for the both of us. I want you to vote. And he looked at me and smiled, and he pushed the button, and he was like, wow. So you didn't vote today, Dad. I did.
The main thing that I was looking at in the elections was the fact that young people actually took a standpoint. And they weren't ignorant to the fact that it's a presidential election. Like 4 years ago when it was the Bush-Kerry campaign, like young people didn't vote. Like nobody really cared. But the fact that Barack Obama went out and he actually got young people, not just African American, not just Caucasian, just everybody in general to come together and to show like that unifying, like it was just a big deal. Like I don't know how to explain it or put it into words.
The mayor of Bridgeport, Connecticut, and I were together in Denver, and he said, I know you've been governor of the state, but now you're mayor of the city. You are mayor of the capital of the Confederacy. And the other day, Linwood and I were over doing something for BBC, and they chose to shoot it in the garden of the White House of the Confederacy across the street. And I thought it so totally appropriate that would take place, that we've moved, as in one of the newspapers today, they refer to the New Dominion. We've been saying that. My predecessor in office, Jerry Bellowes, used to say it quite frequently when he was governor. This is the New Dominion. It isn't what you thought it was. It isn't how you read about it. It isn't how it has been described. And because it's associated with an accent or a past era, you've got to get past that, because we have, and it's good that you know we have.
We are at Virginian University, which was founded in 1865. Is that when I'm waiting for you to say
giving me a history lesson.
No, 1865 is like, now I want to say Reconstruction.
But slavery got abolished. Post-Civil War.
Yeah. Freedmen's Bureau.
So that's after slavery, because slavery ended in 1865.
It did.
Ha-ha.
Slavery was from 1555 to 1865.
Yes. That's crazy. So as soon
years.
as the same year that slavery ended, this school was built.
It's about how far we've come from where we used to be. You know, I don't want to, you know, when I talk to people, I don't want to hear anything about it was, just for the African Americans. It's not just for us, because there were about 68% white Americans who voted for him, you know, through all states. So it's a united thing. I hope it will bring us all together. I saw just as many, if not more, white Americans jumping up and down and shouting for this guy. So to me, I think it was more about the change. It was more about people wanting the economy to be better. people wanting, like I said, we had a lot of healthcare issues, but it was more about people uniting and hearing a different language.
If Dr. Martin Luther King was here, he would be so proud because this is what he was fighting for.
I saw a newspaper article. It was Martin Luther King and Abraham Lincoln. They were all in heaven, and they were just looking down.
All in heaven.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a newspaper,
Oh,
a
it
little
was like,
cartoon
yeah.
or whatever. And
Yeah.
at the bottom of the cartoon, it has Obama. He's giving a speech or whatever. It's like all these people out there, and they're looking down. And Abraham Lincoln says, "No, you're not dreaming." And it's like, wow, like it was like really kind of touched me. Like, this is really happening.
It's really not a dream. Like, it's really true.
For a lot of African Americans, I feel, this was a time in their life where they let all that stuff go. It has finally happened. I don't care what nobody said. It's over with. Let's move on.
It's a time for rededication. But I think more importantly, it's a time for all of us to get behind this new president, to recognize that he really doesn't know the job yet. Nobody does. You can't get that type of experience until you're there. Until you drove a car, you can read about it all you want to. You can study about it, but when you got behind the wheel of that car, you made mistakes. You had to learn when to put on brakes. You had to learn how to avoid trouble.
He didn't just inherit no birthday cake. He walking into an office where there's tons and tons and tons of problems. So he's gonna spend most of his time trying to patch all these wounds and clean up all this trash.
The people of Virginia and of America gave me everything I wanted last night. The election is over. The president has been elected. Now let's really mean it when we say hail to the chief.